This is my 25 PDV England Stove Works Englander pellet stove. I see quite a few videos about these, so I figured I'd do one on mine. I bought this stove used 2 years ago on Craigslist, I believe, and it's about a 2001 vintage. It's not the auto start model. It is a manual start. You've got to put a handful of pellets in the pot, and I usually just use a propane torch to light it. Works really well. I did a lot of work to this stove when I bought it. I put a new piece of glass in it. I ordered a gasket kit from Englander or England Stove Works. Regasketed the entire machine, new burn pod gasket, new lid gasket, new, also replaced the exhaust blower because it was very noisy. The original one was very noisy and it was kind of annoying, so I ordered a brand new one from England Stove Works, put that in there. Of course, new gasket with that. So every gasket in this stove has been replaced. Door gasket, glass gasket, lid gasket, blower gasket. The room blower looked like it'd been fairly recently replaced from the previous owner. It looks fairly new, so I didn't mess with that. And one of the auger motors, the guy told me he replaced it, and it looked like he did, and it looked new. Still has the original control board in it. That works fine. I have fine-tuned the 3 buttons on the bottom, which you're not supposed to touch, but I've played with those. I think I've got it set right now for 191. Reason being, and I have the heat range set on 5 and the blower on 9. Reason I changed that was I was going through I have this on a thermostat. This conduit right here comes up to this thermostat. I have it set for 60 degrees. It works great. But I was getting a big pile of pellets in that pot, unburnt pellets. So when this thing satisfies the thermostat, it was still feeding too many pellets into the pot, in my opinion. So I lowered that low fuel feed rate down to 1, and that's made a huge difference. And I also lowered the heat range down from 9 down to 5. It says in the manual, I downloaded the manual for this model and serial number, and it said that if you put a thermostat on it, they want you to run it at 9.9. That's too much. It overfeeds pellets. It doesn't run efficiently at all that way. So those are the changes I've made. It seems to work really well. I'm heating about a 1,200 square foot garage. Moderately insulated. I've got R13 in the walls and ceiling. These doors, I spent a lot of money on these doors. These are like R11 doors. Really nice doors. New door there. Still have the old single pane windows in the back. So once you get everything heated up in here, this thing works really well. I cleaned it all up, bought some real expensive stove paint, painted it, like I said, regasketed the whole thing. I bought a ash vacuum. I burn super premium Barefoot brand pellets. They're made right in Troy, Pennsylvania. They work great. I also have a stove in the house. I use the same pellets for that, obviously. They're great pellet, all hardwood. So you can pick these Englanders up cheap on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist. Like you said, you can get them for around $300. They usually need some work. You can buy this stove at Home Depot right now, the 25 PDV, for $1,300 plus tax. So, you know, buying a used one, I think, is a good way to go, because they have not really changed the design of it at all in like 20 years. So the control board's the same. I mean, the new ones now have the auto start with an igniter. Like I said, for this shop, I don't care about that. So the other thing I'll say about England Stove Works is their customer service is great. They have a really good tech support line. I've called the guy a couple times on this machine, and he's, you know, this is a 20-year-old stove now, and he was great with me, helped me out. So they're not the best stove, but they're not a bad bargain stove either, and they work well. They heat good, you know. The glass gets dirty on them. My low pie in the house, the glass does not get dirty on that. It'll run for a month, and the glass will be crystal clear. So I did purchase some of this stuff. This works great. It cleans it really well, and it kind of conditions the glass. So I come out here once a day to scrape the burn pot. I open the door, give it a quick wipe with a cotton rag, and it's nice and clean again. So 25 PDV, England Stove Works, Englander. 60-pound hopper. This is the bigger model. They also make a 25. I think it's like a PDV V or something. It's a different model. That one's only like it's like a 1,500 square foot model. This one's a 2,200 square foot model. So anyways, got any questions? Leave them in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. Bye.